in, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to RFK Refugees Podcast. Ted here, John here. A special midweek edition of the RFK Refugees Podcast.
Like
the reason it's
days.
midweek, the old days, back to the summer when John and I had time,
going insane
trying to do this. But we do have an excellent interview coming up with Aubrey Bledsoe from the Washington Spirit. Definitely check that out. They will be playing the OL Reign Sunday at 3:00. You can catch that on CBS Sports Network, not on Paramount Plus. At least I don't think. CBS Sports
on Twitch if you're international or if you have a VPN.
Yes, get a VPN.
Not that I would recommend that of any sort.
No, we're not recommending that in any way. We're just But CBS Sports Network is where you can watch it. If you don't have access to CBS Sports Net and you live in the DC area, you can head over to Dacha Beer Garden over in Navy Yard. They're going to be doing a viewing party for the game. So starting Sunday at 2 p.m. So definitely catch out the Washington Spirit for all that information. Anyway, guys, thank you guys so much. And without further ado, let's get to the interview with Aubrey Bledsoe. Welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, RFK Refugees Podcast. Ted here, John here, joined by a very, very, very special guest, Aubrey Bledsoe, goalkeeper for the Washington Spirit. Aubrey, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, my pleasure. Happy to be here.
Yeah, awesome. Let's jump right into what I'm gonna call probably the best soccer game I saw this weekend, which was your game against the North Carolina Courage. You and Murphy were sharing the star role and who can make the most impressive save. I'm gonna say you made the most impressive saves because we came out on top.
Right.
But give us your thoughts on how what's it like to play in a game like that, especially for you being the goalkeeper.
Yeah, it's exciting. I honestly don't mind playoff games, high stakes, high pressure games. I honestly think that's when I thrive. And so it was just back and forth, just trying to do my job and keep it scoreless for us so we could get the win and keep moving on in the playoffs. But it definitely helps being at home, being at Audi Field, having the supporters behind you in goal. I turn around and I get them like riled up every now and then. And that helps, me stay a little more focused and confident.
That's probably a lot more fun for you than sort of the lower anxiety, like 2 shots faced, like a 4-0 margin of victory. This you've got to stay in it because there's a shot coming at you every 7 seconds. And
I know, right? The stats were insane.
They were. I was in the press box after we went to extra time and they put the 90-minute stats up on the board. I was like, this is bananas. I think, and while you're watching it, and I assume while you're playing it, you're like, you sort of just forget the accumulation of all the shots that happen, and then the totals come up. You're like, wow.
Well, I was telling our forwards, like, guys, why are we settling for like these 30-yard shots? Casey Murphy, good keeper, and she's massively tall. So I'm like, let's
get
a
close.
little closer. Let's pick our shots a little better. And Trent did well to get a close range shot there from the angle, and Hatch was ready for the rebound.
As she often is.
It could have been impressive if you had said, "Now, Trinity, get in the box, take a shot. She's going to fumble this one, and then Ashley Hatch is going to be right there."
Oh, no. I don't like to – I hate seeing keeper mistakes or, like, it hurts my heart no matter who it is.
That is karmically wise of you. That is very karmically wise of you, Aubrey, to feel that way. So, yeah, obviously that game was instant classic, I think, for everyone that was watching it. The story of this team this season is I listened to you. You were on another podcast this week. You're like, I think there's going to need to be a case study of all the things that went on this year. For everyone watching it, everyone close to the team, it's bananas. But what has the team done specifically to help stay focused on the matter at hand, on the play on the field? I think the amount of issues has to be some sort of a world record in sport. But obviously, the wins haven't stopped. So what have you guys been able to do to make this to keep the train on the tracks?
I think at some point we were all just kind of like, okay, every week there's going to be a Washington Post article, and we just not blocked it out, but at the beginning it just felt like a constant barrage, and we were finding out all this club information from news sources. Like, it's we look at Twitter and it's like, oh, someone resigned, like there was something new every week. And there was just a lot of change, a lot of turnover, and it detracted a lot from us just playing. And I think we all just collectively were like, we can't control that. Let's try to just direct all our energy here, not worry about the noise, so to speak. And we just agreed that, if we got to go through it, we might as well win. So, it's been fun. I feel like we've all really come together through it all. And we're definitely like riding the good vibes train. It's kind of funny. Like, you can't really put words to it. I'm not really sure how or why we're winning, but like, it just like destiny, it seems like things are going our way, at least on the field. And when you have that kind of self-belief, it propels you in the game. You make that extra run. You're thinking like, hey, there might be a spill rather than not. Like, so I think it's just those little things that are kind of just going our way, and hopefully they'll keep going that way right through November 20th.
Have you seen the movie Major League by any chance?
I haven't, no.
Okay, well then, if you have a chance to check that out, you don't have to watch the whole movie, but basically, to give a very synopsis of why I brought it up, there's a team that's having issues with the owner, and they were trying to lose. Like, the owner traded away all their good players, and they were trying to lose. That's not the part that's similar, but they happen to make it to the World Series, and it's sort of like they're just against all odds making it. And in the locker room, the coach has there's a watch the movie. I don't want to get into it or get anybody in trouble, but there's some similarities that are very interesting. Ted, go ahead before I get anybody in trouble.
Yeah. Well, I guess to kind of add to that, I mean, it hasn't just been, what's been going on with the Spirit, but it also has been across the league. There's been, a lot that's come out. The league has made statements. I think there was a recent agreement between the players' union. In your mind, I mean, have you since all of that has come out, have you seen, marketable improvement from the league, and what more needs to be done, you think, to improve I guess the well-being of NWSL players?
This year's been heavy for all of us in the NWSL. I think it's a bit of a reckoning. We've all found our voices and realized we're not just happy to be here anymore. We're not going to put up with abuse, and it's really sad, honestly, what some of the girls in this league have been through. I think what we'll need, honestly, is time just for things to kind of fix. This isn't a quick fix. What is this, 9th year of the league? Things have kind of been run, not the best way, I guess we'll say, for so many years. And you get this kind of collective buildup, a lot of coaches who, are mistreating players. And so I think we've purged what we needed to, and now it's just going to be time to get the right people in place, to get the right policies in place, and to have more transparency, accountability, and just more open dialogue with the league. And it seems like they are willing to do that. They met all of our NWSLPA demands, and I think you'll see the players definitely get a seat at the table. And it's really exciting because these girls really care about the league. I'm part of the PA as a players rep, and our own Tori Huster is the president. And the amount of effort and work that she puts into running the PA, honestly, is another full-time job. But she's a boss, and it's incredible, listening to her talk to the interim commissioner, and just she sees so many different aspects of it. And I think we're in good hands as long as we can continue to work together and build that relationship. If we do that, if we work, kind of hand in hand, I think this league will really thrive.
Yeah, best wishes to Tori too. We haven't had a chance to have a podcast since the game, so hope she's doing all right. one more off the field question, then we'll get back to the very important game that's coming this weekend, which is had a chance to talk to you and also specifically you, because you and Andy have been called upon in all of the lots of the post game press conferences. They always ask us, who do you want? We're like, well, if you're asking us who we want, we like the good quotes, and you're one of them.
Thank you.
And you guys have been called upon to talk about this a lot, more than most of the other players. I think obviously you've all of the players were signatories to letters and those things that are going on, but you guys are in a position as club leaders to speak about these issues in a way that some of the other players have not been. And is that something that you have felt comfortable doing and we're eager? Obviously, you have a position like you were mentioning with the Players Association, but this is, I think, a little bit closer to home and less abstract. It's more about the personal that you're living every day. Or is this just something where the job needed to be done and you filled it? So are you comfortable with it, or is it something that you just sort of reluctantly or?
I wouldn't say comfortable or eager, but it is my role as one of the leaders of the team. And I just got to the point where as players, we needed to say something. As I care so much for this team and for the girls that I'll do and say what is necessary to help us get to where we need to be. So I think it was more of that. It's hard to put words to what we're experiencing or, what we need to change. Like a lot of this stuff we're processing in real time as well. So I'm like trying to rack my brain. Like it's hard to communicate some of these things. There's a little bit of pressure there just to say the right, especially, when we're being asked about ownership, and it's like, these are some tough questions. Y'all ask good questions. And I'm grateful that the media is interested. They're looking to cover us, and they want it seems, the media wants what's best for us players and can hopefully help us get there. I wouldn't say I'm comfortable, but I am getting maybe more brave and courageous, but it helps because I've got this incredible team behind me, supporting me, and I know they've got my back. So it's not hard to speak up for them.
You do it well, and I just wanted to also the added element of the fact that you've just played competitive soccer for 90 minutes or more.
Well, I don't have to run around.
No.
So, I'm not huffing and puffing. Maybe Andy is, but I'm just like.
Andy has had to answer some very serious, weighty questions in these press conferences after games.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm like, man, I would need to be. That would be maybe before, the day before the game, I could do it, or the day after. But she's done really well.
Yeah.
So have you.
Let's shift gears. Let's talk about the game coming up on Sunday against the OL Reign. This is a team, despite them being higher in the standings, you guys have gotten the better of them, I think, in 2 road games. Obviously, one of the games was unfortunately, I think your one home game against them was unfortunately a forfeit. But you've looked the better of the two sides when you've met. What do you think has been able to sort of, obviously they've got a lot of talent, Meg Rapinoe, Jess Fishlock, they've got a lot of
Rose
talent.
Lavelle.
Yeah,
right.
Rose Lavelle.
You guys heard of her?
Certainly. How do you think you guys have been so good at sort of neutralizing their attack on their home field, which is it's never easy, and the running theme in American soccer is never easy to win on the road with the travel and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
And on a postage stamp, similar to New York City FC's situation.
Yeah, right.
On a baseball field. So
I know.
What do you think?
The field is not fun to play in. Yeah, they're an incredible team, top to bottom. Like I was joking last game, we're up 1-0 in the 70th minute, and they're subbing in Marojan. I'm like, seriously? And Bethany Balser, who was up in the Golden Boot race with Hatch. So they definitely have a lot of world-class talent. They're deep. They're smart. Laura Harvey's an incredible coach, has done well in the league for a long time now. So we're expecting a really good game. It's playoff soccer, anything can happen. But I think our advantage lies in, maybe our youth. You can say that it's a disadvantage, but I think it almost helps us being a little not naive, because we're aware of their talent, what they bring to the game, but it doesn't intimidate us. And I also think our youngsters just like have a fire under them and they are ready to work. Like Trinity Rodman, the amount of defensive work that girl does is insane. Like, yeah, it's crazy. It gets me so excited watching the team, but we just have a lot of players who are willing to grind it out. And not that that depreciates with age, but I do think, when you're young, there's a little bit of swagger, arrogance to you. Like Sanchez on the ball, she's an incredible dribbler. Like, so there's a lot of elements that we have being young and experienced that I think actually benefit us when going up against the rain.
You mentioned Trinity's defensive work rate. There's a great gif of her. I think it was an extra time. She makes a run. She makes a run forward. Ball either gets stripped from her, or she runs back on defense. And that's where the clip ends. But the funny thing is, if you're watching the game, she is then expected to then make another run going forward, and she's just like, I can't. My lungs are finite. I can't breathe forever.
Yeah.
But the defensive run was important to get we wouldn't have had the offensive chance had she not done that. Anyway.
Yeah.
Had the games not been forfeited this year, you would have had the most games started in the league. I've said to a couple people that you've got to be a patient person to be Aubrey Bledsoe's backup because she likes to play. What do you do to keep yourself available for selection every week? You stay healthy, and you're behind you're between the sticks every single game. What do you do to make sure that you're able to do that?
Yeah, ironically, I've been quite injured this year. So it's a testament to my goalkeeper coach, our athletic trainers, and the other goalkeepers. But I actually broke my thumb warming up back in May of the Kansas City game, like split right through the fingertip. And so I didn't train. I only used my hands in games for a couple months. And I kept it obviously pretty hush-hush because every week I'm like, oh my gosh, like, please, like, don't let them shoot on me. Like,
those are the games you would have preferred, the low scoring, low opportunity game.
Those
that'd have been all right.
Like, oh goodness, I'd get a little nervous, but it wasn't like irresponsible. Like I could play. But like the adrenaline, like once game day came around, like I was ready to go, but I definitely had to limit the volume. I wasn't really taking I wasn't taking shots in training or anything. So ironically, I was injured for most of the summer. And then on my right hand, I actually had a dislocated broken finger as well. So I have had my fair share of injuries. I've been playing the rest of the season with a splint in my glove. So, but it's healed. It doesn't give me any pain anymore, but I have to I'll show you guys. I have to wear this all the time that keeps my finger bent. And then I have a different one that I wear in my glove. So I actually cut off my pinky and open it up to tape it back on. So like the splint fits and everything. Credit to my goalkeeper coach, our athletic trainers. It's quite the process to keep me out there. But I was
Aubrey. I think you have proved my point. I think you have proved my point that it is tough to get you out of the net.
Maybe I'm not as durable as you think, but I'm there. I have a high pain tolerance, and everyone, the whole keeper crew was, very patient with me when I couldn't really do much this year. So it's a team effort, and I'm grateful that I haven't had to miss any games other than our forfeits.
Yeah.
So you've your name has been talked about a lot amongst U.S. Women's national team fans as most deserving for a national team call up. You've seen Ashley Hatch get a call up. I believe Trinity Rodman was also on the list. Obviously, Andy Sullivan's gotten there in the list. What is your philosophy about the national team? Do you feel like, have you had conversations with Vlatko about possibly returning to the or getting a call up to the national team?
I've personally not talked to him. I know he's been in contact with Chris Ward, our interim head coach, and seems like they're going with youth for this camp. I obviously wish I were there, and it's a dream of mine to represent the U.S. women's national team. I've gotten close, but I've never made the roster. I've been in a couple training camps and missed out on the Olympic roster this past summer. So 2023 World Cup is definitely my goal. I'm really hoping that I'll get a chance for a January camp, but I'm just trying to stay ready and hoping that these next 2 games, the Spirit are going to win it all, and that'll hopefully, really put my name in consideration for the next camp.
I think it matters. I think all the NWSL aficionados, people who watch the games week in, week out, that's who's really banging the drum, I think, for you right now.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. I definitely want to be there.
Yeah. And Ashley, I think we talked to her before the season. It was basically like, what do they want from you? Like, what do they need? She's like, they would like me to score more goals in the league. I was like, well, Golden Boot will do it. Yeah. So I think for you, I think you're taking this team to 2 games from potentially a trophy, and you've had a fantastic season once again. So all you can do is what you can do, and you're doing it.
Yeah, right. Trying to control the controllables.
So look, Aubrey, we will clip out that interview where you're talking about how you're playing on broken fingers and a splint and
that's
everything.
Right, in a loop,
and we'll just drop it into Vlaco's email box.
You can release that like November 21st. No, I feel okay sharing this now because I'm playing my best, but
you're clearly not affected by the hell you're being. Right.
I was not 100%. I'm like, I didn't necessarily want, the national team to know in case, it would prevent a call up. But I am at a good spot now where.
Vlaco, she will crawl through broken glass. She will tear the finger off of her gloves and build a superstructure inside of it.
I don't have them to show you, but.
That's got to be something you've got to auction at the end of the year. Your 4-fingered gloves.
Well, in our last home game, I was just, signing them and throwing them into the crowd. So if you get my left hand, it's 5 fingers, but the right was 4-fingered. So I'm like, special edition.
Someone in the squadron don't put that on eBay. That is valuable
too. Like I could sign the little pinky and throw it out.
There you go. Oh, we've got a question. I want to make sure. Thank you for taking the time here. Yeah. Very close to. I just want to make sure we get a question in from one of our listeners. Angus wants to know what your experience was like playing abroad, and I think the question for every fan of every league is they want to know how it compares to the NWSL on a daily basis or day-to-day basis. This year has been kind of weird, but I think overall, sort of facilities, level of play, all those things. What was your experience like over there, and how does it net out for you?
Yeah, everywhere is a little different. Every country, every league. I've played in Denmark, Norway, and Australia. So, been around the block, and the NWSL is by far the best league. It is insane how every week, every game, you got to be up for it. There's no gimmies. So yeah, from top to bottom, the level of talent in this league is unreal. I did love Australia because it is beautiful there, and I got to skip winter for 3 years. So that league was fun, and it was great for me because it was a perfect off-season league. We didn't train as much. It wasn't as intense. Some of the girls had other jobs, and it wasn't entirely professional like our league is here in the States. So it was good for me to stay fit, to keep getting game minutes, and be ready then for the NWSL. So yeah, Australia not as talented top to bottom. Some of the teams weren't as good, but just a fun league to play in. And yeah, same for a lot of Europe. There's a couple good teams, but you don't see teams 1 through 10 being so solid. We lost to Racing Louisville,
yes,
we only have five real losses maybe. And I'm like, Racing Louisville was one. So I'm saying,
you got them back. Yeah, I think you got them back. I think that was early on in the season. I think you straightened it out.
Anyone can win. Kansas City's 3-0 win against the Dash. No one saw that coming, but you got to.
We always say don't bet MLS, but also do not bet NWSL. That's another thing you shouldn't do. Aubrey, we have 2 more games left, and if I heard it correctly, the 20th is your birthday.
It is.
So let's hope. I feel like a real opportunity to both spoil yourself and the fans is to
and Chris Ward
take care of business
as well.
Who's that?
Chris Ward, our head coach.
Man, there you go. I feel like it's more elements towards a team of destiny. Just piling up. Aubrey, thank you so much for joining us. Where can people find you besides every single game between the net for the Spirit? Where can they find you online?
Usually in my apartment baking. No, I'm kidding. At Aubrey Bledsoe, Instagram, Twitter. I'm pretty responsive, so love hearing from fans and getting to know our supporters. So it's been great to chat with you guys, and thanks for supporting us. And see you in Louisville, I hope.
Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully. I've been looking at plane tickets. Right. It's definitely possible. Aubrey, thank you so much for joining us. Good luck this weekend. Hopefully we keep on moving. Like you said, this does feel like a team of destiny to me. So let's keep it rocking.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Aubrey.
Yeah.
Thanks, Aubrey.
Thanks again to Aubrey Bledsoe for coming on to the show. And we will be back live next Monday. Twitch.tv/RFK Refugees to hopefully recap a Spirit victory and look forward to the eventual final, which will be on the 20th. So thanks again to Aubrey for coming on the show, and we will catch you guys on Monday. Vamos.